Hi, this is Ken. This spiritual video is called Our Footprint in Life. Throughout our lives, we each leave our footprint, a mark about what our life was about. For some, the footprint is quite small in that perhaps they have some people, close family or friends who will remember them. And perhaps they just barely got by in the world. For others, such as really great scientists, such as Einstein and others, their footprint is quite larger because they had a large influence on the technological and scientific advancement of humanity. For others, whether for good or bad, their footprint was because they may have been ahead of a country and had power over many, many people. Whether that was somebody like Gandhi from India, whose footprint was extremely spiritual and loving, or someone like Hitler from Germany, who caused such devastation and death and pain to so many. For others, their footprint might be their wealth, that perhaps they started a very big company and made a lot of money and were able to buy many material things and be very famous because of how wealthy they were. For others, perhaps they were famous actresses, authors, or others who influenced people by their writings, their acting, amongst other things. We all leave a footprint of some type. And to an extent, we have a choice of what that footprint will be. If we accept everything that we learned as we are growing up and believe it to be true, and believe that success in the world has to do with having a lot of money, a very prestigious job, being famous, being well known, perhaps being president of a country, or any other thing in that respect, then though we leave a footprint, how important is it? Yes, it may advance the technological and scientific knowledge of humanity, but without taking care of the spiritual part of humanity, it allowed us to invent the atomic bomb, to bring in the nuclear age, to create tremendous dangers. There was recently a movie called Oppenheimer in which they discussed what happened with the creation of the atom bomb and the potential it made in the world. Though it was a great technological advance, it also brought tremendous danger. So yes, scientists and others may leave an influence on the world and have a great footprint. But is that footprint significant? Is the advancement of humanity and technology worth the pain, the prejudice, the greed, and everything else that results from it, including the enhanced danger to so many and to civilization in itself? When you start on a path towards spirituality, you begin to realize that everything that we learned, all the footprints that so many have who believe that they are very important because they are wealthy, they employ a lot of people, they are famous, for whatever reason it might be, you start to understand that all those things are really not important at all. That the only important footprint is the footprint that you leave from your spirit, the peace of God, your higher self, your soul that is present within you and within every single person. You need not have wealth or fame in order to leave this footprint. By sharing your spiritual self, the unconditional love that is represented by the peace of God that is within you and within all other people and all other forms of life as well, you will leave a much, much larger footprint than someone who may be wealthy, famous, have a very prestigious job, even though they may have advanced the technological aspect and scientific knowledge of the world, even though they may have succeeded in life by, by accumulating many things, their footprint is limited because it would be limited to just the people that they shared their selfless love with. Technology only goes so far. By advancing technology without also embracing our spiritual center, the peace of God that is within us, the selfless nature that we each represent, brings tremendous dangers, such as Oppenheimer found out with the creation of the atomic bomb and all of the dangers associated with it. Unfortunately, when humanity embraces its egoistic center, believing that only what is important for themselves individually is what is important for all of life and all of humanity is not as important as making money and taking advantage of others and using the increased knowledge and technology that we have to benefit the few rather than to help all. That technology, when you brace your egoistic center and are self-centered with your beliefs and your greed, it leads to increased danger and increased problems in the world. In fact, all of humanity's self-inflicted problems, from the danger of nuclear holocaust to the severity of climate change and what it's going to do to future generations on our planet, to greed, prejudice, hate, fear, and almost everything else I could list off that are caused by humanity's embrace of our egoistic center. That, though the footprint helped advance our world technologically and scientifically, it did little, if anything, or increase the possibility that our spiritual self, our loving self, sharing all this knowledge equally with all without trying to make profit, but to make everyone's life better, will be diminished greatly. Those who embrace their spiritual center, however, those who share their love selflessly, who share their wealth and their fame to help others without reason or cause to make all life better so that every single person and every single life will thrive and not have to struggle as much. They leave a much larger footprint on the world than someone who is famous, intelligent, scientific, or made a lot of money. For their footprint in the world is the selfless love they shared, their spirit that they shared, the peace of God with others, and their spirit and peace of God within them as well. And that after these people have gone and after they are dead, their spirit, by sharing it selflessly with all others and making every other life better, will continue to live on in the spirit, the peace of God that is within all others that they influenced. You don't have to be wealthy to do this, or famous, or anything else. By sharing your loving spirit, your loving peace of God with all others selflessly, it will allow your footprint in life to be enlarged because it will continue to be after you are long gone, by the influence, the spiritual influence, and the loving influence you have on all others who you have met during your lifetime. This is Ken with another spiritual video.